This is my first story time. I've never done this before, obviously. So, bear with me. I might be a little bit slow at this, but I'm going to catch on real quick. So, this story time is about the time that I almost, not quite, but almost had an encounter with the guy that I'm dating, his Becky. And if you love Beyonce like I do, you will know what the hell that means from the song Story, okay? His Becky. So, I'm going to take it back a little bit. So, me and him started dating, I'm going to say, in the spring. I want to say in the spring. So, me and him started dating in the spring. And he's the first guy that I've really thought about a real relationship with. So we kind of moved a little bit fast in the beginning. I have to say that, a little bit fast. Like the second date, third date, I won't even call it a date, but I was at his place within like a month. And I don't mean like, when I say at his place, I mean like I was at his place as far as just coming over regularly. And so this one time, me and him, I don't want to say started drifting, but things weren't as intense, you know, that beginning puppy love shit, like all that. So, okay. So, I hadn't heard from him. And I'm a really aggressive person. And once you see my story times, the more I do them, you'll realize that I'm a very aggressive person. So, there was this one time in the summer. So, I had texted him because I was like, what the fuck is going on? I haven't heard from this man. I wanted to know what the hell was going on. Are we good? You know, like, it was just weird. We just weren't talking or whatever. So I texted him, and this was on a Saturday. It was Saturday morning, I remember. Not too long ago, so I remember. So it was a Saturday morning, and I had texted him. And I was just like, hey, how are you doing? You know, the little basic text. And he said to me, oh, hey, you know, hey, you, whatever. That's this little thing. And I was like, hey. And so I was like, I don't know how we got on the subject of food, but somehow we did. And I said to him in a text, I said to him in a text, he was like, so how are you feeling or whatever? And I was like, I'm fucking starving. And he was like, oh, shit. He was like, I just literally just picked up some food. And I was like, oh, okay, well, that's fine, whatever. I didn't think a big deal of it. So he was like, oh, I just picked up some food. He was like, well, what do you want to eat? I didn't know if he meant, like, just in general, like, what are you going to eat? Or if he meant he was going to get me food. So I was like, oh, I'm thinking about eating Chick-fil-A, you know, whatever. And he's like, oh, because his place is literally right by Chick-fil-A. Like, he could walk there. So he was like, oh, so what do you want from Chick-fil-A? And I was like, oh, I'll have, you know, whatever. I have chicken nuggets, whatever. So, cut that short. So he's like, I'm going to come by yours, my place, and I'm going to bring you food. So I was all giddy and shit. I was like, okay, you know, that's hot. Okay, so he was like, I'm going to text you when I'm on my way. So he texted me. He's like, I'm on my way. And I was like, okay, cool, whatever. So he got to my place, and he was outside. And he was like, I'm outside. So I prettied myself up and shit for him, and, you know, put on this nice little cute, cheap-ass dress, but it was cute. And put on some little lip gloss and, you know, just basic shit. And so I went outside, had my charger and shit, because I'm like, I hadn't seen him in a minute. So I was like, I'm thinking he's coming by to basically pick me up to go by him. Like, I didn't think he was just dropping the food off. So I go outside, and I sit in his car, and I close the door, and he was like, oh. So he was like looking at me, and I was like, hey, and he gave me a kiss, you know. And he was like, hey, and I was like, thank you for getting me food. You know, I didn't expect that, you know, that's so sweet and everything. And I was like, thank you for getting me food and, you know, blah, 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 blah. And so he's like, so he was just looking like, he wasn't doing it rudely, but he was like, so, you know, and I was like, what? And he was like, so, are you coming with me? Like, and I was like, yeah, whatever, sure. And I felt kind of awkward then because I was like, oh shit, maybe I don't want to like come off too strong because we hadn't been dating that fucking long, Still really haven't, but you know what I'm saying. Like, I didn't want to come off too strong, and I'm sure a lot of y'all can relate to that. You don't want to come off too strong, but then at the same time, you want to communicate how you're feeling, kind of. Like, I wanted to go with him, but I didn't want to be like, oh, I'm going with you, and he didn't want me to go with him because that's just not cool. So basically, I was like, okay, yeah, I'll go with you, whatever. So he's like, well, I have to take my friend somewhere and to the store. And his friend, I met his friend that day as well. And I'll get to that. I met his friend, and his friend lives in the same complex, but I guess he doesn't have a car. But I never really got into that. So he was like, I'm taking my friend to the store if you don't mind. If, you go with me to my place, and, you go inside my place or whatever, we go inside, but I'll go with my friend. I'm taking him to the store. And I was like, okay, well, fine, whatever. So anyway, we got there. His friend came over. We'll call his friend John. So his friend John came over. And so he came over, and he was a cool guy, He was a cool guy. And so I'm going to call him, I'm not going to use his real name, I'm going to call him Ben, okay? The guy I'm dating, I'm going to call him Ben because I don't want his business out there. So Ben was like, okay, come on, John, let's go to the store. And he was like, he came over by me, he picked me up or whatever, and I was like, oh, okay. Because I don't really like that PDA stuff. Like, I don't want to be kissing and hugging and all that in front of people because I feel like it makes them uncomfortable and shit. But I was like, whatever. He was like in my face and kissing me and all that shit. And I was like, okay, this is sweet. He picked me up. Like, he was just all affectionate and just sweet, and I don't know what the fuck has happened since then, but he was all affectionate and sweet and shit, and I was like, okay, okay, okay. And so Ben took John, I don't want to use their fucking real name on accident. Ben took John to the store, and then they came back. And that's just, I'm not looking in the camera. So then they came back, and, so I thought he was coming to stay. So then he came back, and he went in his room, and then his friend John came in the living room. Me and him talked a little bit, and then Ben took him back to the store. I don't know. I think he forgot his wallet or something. Ben forgot his wallet. Ben. So Ben forgot his wallet, and so they left again, and they were going for fucking ever, like, I don't know, an hour or something. And so I was just in his place, chilling, looking through not looking through his personal shit, but just, browsing through some things. He left me in his place by myself, looking at shit, making sure nothing suspicious up in that motherfucker. So I'm browsing through shit, and so long story short, he comes back, and John cooked something because he loves this type of cuisine, African cuisine. And so John cooked that, and then Ben dropped John back off his place. So then it was just me and Ben. Me, Diamond, and Ben. Him. So then we were chilling, and he got on his Skype, and he Skyped his friend from overseas, because he's from overseas. And he Skyped his best friend from overseas. And he was like, I really like you and all this shit. And he's like, he told his friend, he's like, I found this girl. He's like, I met this girl. Her name's Diamond, and I really like her. And, it was just a good day. And so I got on Skype with his friend. I met his friend from overseas. And it was just cool. It was just a cool, chill day, And so he was like, I'm not letting you go. And he's like, I would never lie to you. All that bullshit. I never lie to you. And, you're what I'm looking for. This is what Ben said to me. So, this is what Ben said to me. So, I was like, okay. So, I'm going to back it up a little bit, because I should have did this in the beginning, but I'm going to back it up a little bit. So, Me and him had been dating for a couple of months. Alright. And I'm going to go back to the story in a few, but this relates to the story. So, me and Ben have been dating for a couple months. So, I don't know how we got on the subject. I never do. But somehow me and him have been texting one night. And I said to him, because he always say little smart stuff. Like, for instance, like, one day me and him was chilling out. He got me ice cream. We went and got ice cream. And, let me give you an example. He said to me, so what are you looking for? And I was like, you're who I'm looking for, you know. You like who he is. Like, I like a lot of your traits and all that stuff. I think we mesh really good together. And he said to me, so I was like, yeah, because you're the only one I'm dating or seeing or whatever. And now I know ladies, you should never tell a man that they're the only one you're seeing, because then they take advantage of that shit. So don't. Younger girls, if you have not been in a relationship or haven't gone through that, or, you know, whatever, you're figuring out the whole dating thing, like I'm still figuring out the whole dating thing, don't ever tell a man that he's the only one that you're fucking seeing, because they're going to use it to their fucking advantage. So anyway, he will always say smart shit like, I'd be like, well, you're the only one I'm dating. And he'll be like, oh, we'll see about that, or sure. Like, being sarcastic and shit. Like, he was thinking I'm dating someone else. So one night, I had sent him a text. And because he said to me in his text, I had sent him something. And he was like, oh, you're so funny. You're just so funny. And I said to him, you're one of the only two people to say that. And then he texted me back saying, one of the only two people that you're doing what with or something. And I was like, what? And I was like, did you read the text? And he was like, oh. And then we got on the subject, and I was like, well, what do you think this is? Like, do you think I'm seeing someone else? And he was like, well, I don't know. So I was like, okay, well, I'm not seeing anyone else. So I was like, are you seeing anyone else? He's like, no, I'm not seeing anybody else. I promise you, I swear I'm not. And he's like, I'm not lying about that. He's like, I'm not the type to be dating multiple girls at one time. He's like, I like somebody, that's who I'm dating. I'm not dating anyone else. So I was like, okay, cool. You know, and so I was like, so then, this is like before I went to Ben's place, before the encounter. But anyway, so then we had another conversation when I went to his place. This is before the time that I'm telling y'all about. And we had a conversation. I was like, so, do you want to date anyone else? Basically, like, kind of like the exclusive talk. And he was like, I was like, if you want to date someone else, I don't mind. And by that, I mean, I mind, but, like, I'm not going to be like, you the only person I'm the only girl that you need to be dating, and, you know, all up in his face, and, like, you know, being possessive and shit, because we had not been dating that long. It's been, like, 2 months. So I'm like, if you want to see someone else, that's okay, but I need to know. So if you going out with somebody else, because me and him live, like, 10 minutes apart, I'm going to find out about it. Whether someone I know sees you, or I see you, because I'm all over the area. I live in the greater Atlanta area. I ain't going to say where exactly. Let's just say in Atlanta. And I'm going to see you, because me and him go to a lot of the same stores, a lot of the same restaurants. I'm like, if you dating somebody else, just be real. If you got another girl that you seeing, be real. You know what I'm saying? If you have a, you know, friend with benefits and shit, be real about it. He's like, no, I'm not. You know, I'm the only girl I'm dating. I don't want to see anyone else. And he's like, so I'm the only person that Ben was like, I'm the only person that you're dating, right? And I was like, yeah. And he's like, okay, we can keep that way. You know, so I'm like, cool. So fast forward to the day that I went over there, that he got me Chick-fil-A. So John had left. He had dropped John back off. And so it was about, he had picked me up around 1. So me and him had talked and da-da-da-da-da. You know, I had met his friend on Skype, had a whole conversation with his friend. That's a whole nother story. And so, fast forward, it was around, you know, we have been watching TV basically all day, I want to say, yeah. So, fast forward to about 11 o'clock at night. Keep in mind, He picked me up and took me to his place. Okay, so fast forward to 11 o'clock. It's 11 o'clock at night that Saturday. And Ben fell asleep. Because we had been watching TV, I guess because he wanted to show me the show. He already seen the episodes. So I was just watching them, because he wanted me to see the show, whatever. Wanted to show interest in what he likes. So fast forward to 11 o'clock. He has a roommate. Ben has a roommate. Let's call his roommate for future story times. Let's call his roommate. What's a good name I can call him? I'm just gonna use generic shit. Let's call him Jax. Just like the name Jax. So he has a roommate named Jax. Jax. His roommate works out of state, so his roommate came back kind of unexpectedly. So Ben had woke up because he heard his roommate come in. And his roommate was like, hey, because I had met his roommate previously. And he was like, hey, Diamond, and, whatever. And so his roommate put his stuff in his room. He came in the kitchen. And me and Ben had been drinking wine all day. Well, not all day, but, like, all night. Like, around 7, ish, something like that. So his roommate said to Ben, Jack said to Ben, where the fuck is my wine? He's like, why is my shit gone? Why is my juice gone? Why the fuck is my shit not in here that I had bought before I had left? Because his roommate was gone for like a week. So I guess Ben had been drinking and eating his food. Because I think he thought, because he had said his roommate was due to come back next week, but his roommate unexpectedly came back early. So Ben had planned on, I guess, he was going to eat his shit, drink his shit, and then replace the shit before he came back. So he came back unexpectedly. So long story short, he came back unexpectedly. He was like, where's my shit? Ben got up and he's like, oh, man, don't start with me. And then his roommate gonna say to him in front of me, well, I don't like how you acting funny just because this girl is here. That's what the fuck his roommate had the nerve to say. With me in the room, on the fucking couch. He says, I don't like how you acting funny in front of this girl. First of all, that had me suspicious. Because why the fuck are you making me generic like this girl? Why couldn't you have used my name? He knew what my name was. Why couldn't he just say, I don't like when you act funny in front of Diamond? He had to say this girl. So that made me think in my head. It made me suspicious. Because I'm like, okay. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. I just thought that was weird. So then Jax left. He went outside. And Ben followed him outside. Long story short, Jax had came back in. And he made a beeline for his room. Ben did not come back in. I was nervous. I was like, what the fuck? I know some shit happened outside. I know, because I don't know his roommate like that. I don't know what the fuck was going on. Because he was really heated. I didn't know. And I'm like, shit, I left my fucking car at my house. I didn't know what the fuck was going on. So, Ben left his phone on the couch. Okay. Ben left his phone on the fucking couch. Why the fuck did he do that? Okay. I am an Android person. I'm using my iPhone. I just got this iPhone today. I am an Android person. I've never ever had an iPhone, so I don't know about that shit. So I kept hearing this beep, like that iPhone beep noise shit, and I was like, what the fuck? I was watching Family Guy, and I was like trying to ignore his phone, because I'm not the type to be going through people's phone, because I knew his code, because I see him enter it into his phone, but I ain't gonna do that, because I wouldn't want him going through my phone, so I'm not gonna do that shit. That's just not cool. That ain't cute. So I'm like, his phone was over there, so I'm just like, like looking at something. I was curious, because I'm like, why is his phone going off like this? His phone had not been going off, and I don't know if he had been texting and I hadn't noticed it. But I didn't hear, I don't know if he had it on silent. He turned it up before I don't know. I don't know. That's weird, because I did not hear his phone going off all day. I didn't hear it. So I don't know. I was like, what the hell, No one had been texting him from my knowledge. I don't know if he was secretly texting because we were undercover. I don't know if he was texting. I wasn't paying attention. And he had on silent. I don't know. I really don't. So anyway, long story short, his phone was beeping, and I'm like, okay, fuck. So his phone was going off just too much. Seriously, it was at this point. It was 12 o'clock in the morning, Sunday morning slash Saturday night. Some people still consider it Saturday night. 12 o'clock in the morning. Okay, and his phone is going off. When I say his phone was going off, his phone was going fucking crazy, man. It was going crazy. So it kept beep, 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 beep. And I was like, what the fuck? You know, what the fuck? So I looked at his phone, and I saw a text from Becky. I'm gonna call her Becky because she's a Becky to me. Because I didn't think this was cool. Because why the fuck, if he didn't respond, why the fuck you gonna keep texting him? I'm the type, if you don't text me after I text you back, and I know I texted you, I know the hell that shit sent, and you ain't respond, I'm the type, I ain't gonna say shit else. Because you got my text, if you want to respond, it's up to you. I ain't gonna, now I might text, sometimes texts don't go through, and I might text later on, like a day or two later, and be like, hey, see, what's going on, did you get my text? And if they're like, yeah, I got your text, or I might just be like, hey, how you doing, and then they respond back, whatever, then okay. I might do that. But I'm not, if I text someone and they don't fucking respond, I ain't gonna keep texting you. Because that's just freaking ridiculous. So then I look at his phone. And like on the front, it comes up with the person's name. So I do like about iPhone. It comes up with their name. Android doesn't do that. So, because I had an Android at the time. Samsung S5. So I looked, and Becky's name was up there. I never, since I have been seeing him, we had the exclusivity, kind of, it wasn't like official, but kind of official kind of talk, because he was like, he ain't seeing no one else, he don't want to see anyone else. I was like, I ain't seeing no one else, I don't want to see no one else. So it was kind of in those terms. It wasn't like we put a label like, you're my boyfriend, or I'm his girlfriend, but we had that talk. So I felt like he said he won't see no one else. I trusted that. Naive as fuck. I trusted that. So I saw Becky's name, and I was like, okay. I tried in my head, because I'm trying to watch Family Guy. I was like, okay. So I looked at his phone. I did. I ain't opened it, but I looked at his phone, and I was like, it said, the text said, let me see, what did the text say? The text had said, what are you doing? Or something to that effect. And of course he didn't respond because he left his phone. Then Becky said, I love using that word, Becky, okay. Becky gonna text him again and say, again, what are you doing? Like in caps. Of course he didn't respond because he ain't there. So then she texted again saying, don't fall asleep on me. Fuck. Don't fall asleep on me. I was like, what the hell? It had my mind turning because I'm like, he just told me. We have just had this talk like weeks ago. We ain't seen nobody else. We don't want to see no one else. And you have this girl texting you at 12 o'clock in the morning saying, don't fall asleep on me. How the fuck does she know that you fall asleep early or this? To me, that was sketchy. So then she texted him again. And she says, this time, now this shit got me. I was like, what the fuck? Hold on, y'all. I was like, what the hell? Okay. Then next time, she texted Ben and says, I'm on my way. I was like, oh, hell. Oh, what the fuck? I didn't know what the fuck to do. Because I'm like, okay, he's gone. I'm at his place with his angry fucking roommate, fucking angry roommate. I'm at his place. I ain't got no car. I left my car at my house. She said she on her way. I don't know what the hell going on. I was like, what the hell? And she was like, did you, and then Becky texted Ben again, and she's like, did you read the text? I'm on my way. I'm coming right now. I'm going to be there in 15 minutes. I was like, oh my God, okay. I didn't know that if I should call my mama and be like, Ma, she was at the house, Ma, come pick me up. or if I should call Uber. I ain't never used Uber before. My phone storage was 16 gigabytes, really low, so I ain't having no space. I was gonna have to start deleting some apps and call an Uber, because I ain't staying here. I don't know what the fuck going on. I don't know if this is a side chick, or I don't know if this was a girl he was seeing before, because he had told me about a girl he had been seeing before, but she had a different name. So I was like, maybe he gave me a different name, and this was the girl that he was dating before. I don't know. I was trying to make sense of everything. I was like, I don't know what the fuck is going on. So then she was like, okay, I'm on my way. Then she calls him at 12:15 a.m. Okay, calls him. I was like, okay, this is getting kind of crazy. I started getting nervous, because I'm like, I ain't got time for this shit tonight. I ain't fighting over no man. Ain't no motherfucker worth my time to be fighting over and shit. Ain't no motherfucker worth it. No man is worth getting your ass beat over. Okay, I'm like, I ain't getting my ass beat tonight. That ain't happening. If I have to go out there and wait at the entrance of his complex and wait for my mama to pick me up, or wait for Uber, somebody to pick my ass up, if I have to call my brother. Wait, I think my brother was out of town. Okay, he was out of town. I was like, I ain't got time for this. So then she called again. She called again. She called again. She called again. I went to the bathroom, because I was like, oh my god, what the fuck. So I went to the bathroom. I came out, and this Becky bitch, fucking crazy Becky, called again. She was still fucking calling his phone, because I could hear it in the bathroom. I kept hearing it, all that shit, and I'm like, what the fuck? You know, I'm thinking when I come out the bathroom, maybe she'll stop. I didn't know if I should answer the phone. What time is it? Okay. I didn't know if I should answer the phone, because I don't know who the hell she is. So I was like, I don't want to answer the phone, and he's telling me that he ain't seen nobody, and he telling her that he ain't seen nobody, and I answer the phone, and it's some shit. You know, I was like, I don't want to answer his phone, because I wouldn't want him to answer my phone, and I don't feel comfortable with that. Looking back now, I should have answered his phone. I should have. I wish I had, but I didn't. I didn't have the guts to do it, I guess. But if that shit ever happened again, I would definitely answer that motherfucker's phone. But I didn't that day. So she's calling, and then she texts him. She's like, I'm coming. You know, I'm here, and you need to come outside, or whatever. So I was like, oh my god. So then she texted him, shaking my head, SMH. And then she's like, I'm leaving. And I was like, oh, thank God. So then he comes back. Ben comes back. Like maybe 10 minutes after she said she was leaving, he comes back. And I was like, where the fuck were you? Because I'm like, you left your phone. And you left without saying, he didn't come back inside and say, I'm going to the store. He didn't say shit. I'm thinking, I was like, I don't know, you know, I didn't want to ask his roommate, because I was like, it's kind of weird, because his roommate was tripping at night. His roommate really nice, but at that time, I was like, he was tripping, because he was pissed that, I was about to use his real name, that Ben had drunk up and ate his food, which is understandable, because if I had a roommate and they ate my food, and I come back from a long trip that I just drove, and I'm ready to have a glass of wine and relax, and then my shit gone, I will be pissed the fuck off too. So, long story short, Ben had went to Walmart. Yes. So he comes back in, and so I say to Ben, I say, you motherfucker. I said to him, why the fuck you gonna tell me you ain't seeing nobody else and clearly you fucking are? And he's like, what? He was looking at me all dazed and confused and shit. He's like, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? And I'm like, this bitch, Becky, keep blowing up your phone at 12 o'clock in the morning. Why the fuck do you have a Becky blowing up your phone when you supposed to be with me right now? There is no other bitch that should be blowing up your phone at no 12:30 in the morning. He's like, what? He's like, hold on. What are you talking about? So then he grabs his phone, and he's like, oh, his eyes got this big. He was like, oh shit. He was like, oh my god. Did Becky knock on the door? Did Becky come here? And I was like, no. And he's like, did Becky knock? Did she? He was all frantic and shit. Did Becky knock on the door? Did Becky knock? I'm like, no. No. And he was like, oh my god. And he was just like losing his cool. And he's like, oh my god, okay. He was like, I gotta drop you. Can I go drop you off real quick? I have to get something for Becky. And he was just acting frantic and shit. I was like, what the fuck is going on? So I was texting my mother doing this, and she was like, you need to come home. She's like, I'm about to come get your ass, cause I don't need you getting your ass whooped and shit. You know, over no motherfucker, other than no motherfucking man and shit. I'm like, okay. I swear to you, I was about to make my mom come pick me up, cause I was like, this, I don't know what the hell going on. So, long story short, I was like, so are you seeing someone? Are you seeing this Becky? He's like, no. But she was supposed to drop something off this morning around 10 and she never showed. And I let her borrow something and I have to go get it from her right now. What do you need to go get from her? That's not important. Okay. So he's like, I don't want to rush you, but, you know, you want me to go drop you off real quick, you know, on the way to Becky's house? I was like, okay, drop me off. I ain't got time for this. So we get outside in the parking lot, and I'm like, I just don't feel right about this. So I asked Ben again. I say, are you seeing Becky? No, I'm not seeing Becky. Becky's a crazy bitch. And then he says, you know what? And then he laughs. And he's like, no, you know what? I ain't gonna call her crazy. I don't want to say she's crazy. But she just won't let go. I was like, well, can you emphasize on that? Let go of what? Oh, it's not important. So I'm gonna fix this motherfucker. So, long story short, he drops me off. And so I'm like, what the hell happened? So I'm like, text me when you get home. He texted me like 30 minutes later saying he was home. I don't know. I don't know if I'm being like, I don't know if I'm being naive to think if he was really being honest. I don't, at the time, looking back, now I see how naive I was compared to how I am now and how I am with him now. I don't know if he was telling the truth. I don't know if he texted me that he was home and he was really by her place, or if he really was home. I don't know. At that point, I didn't give a fuck. Because to me, that looked like a booty call. I don't know, though. I truly don't. Because I don't know. I just don't know. So, yeah, it was just weird. It was just a weird night. Because it went from being like a really cool, chill day to being bullshit. Kind of like, just being real. Like, I don't know. Like, it was just, I just don't know. Like, I don't know. Like, I talked to my cousin about it, and she was like, she think that I was being over dramatic. She thinks that he was being honest, that there was nothing going on with him and Becky. I don't know, though. I don't know, man. I don't know if there was something going on with him and Becky. I don't know. I don't guess I'll never know unless I ask him again, but I don't want to bring it back up because this was like months ago, and I feel like we moved past that. But I don't know, man. I don't know. Let me know in the comments what y'all think. Do you think he was being honest? If y'all have made it this far in the video, it's a long video, I know. I don't know, girl. I don't know, people. I don't know. I don't know if he was being honest. I don't know. I would like to think he was, but you just don't know it, man. You just don't know. A lot of them are just good liars. So, I don't know. So let me know what y'all think in the video. If you like the story time. If you want me to do story time videos, or if you just don't give a damn, just let me know. And let me know in the videos, what would you have done in that situation? Would you have answered the phone? Would you have confronted him about it later on? Like at a later time, would you have brought it back up about him and Becky? Ben and Becky. Would you have dropped him? I don't know. I probably should have dropped him at the time. I was foolish. I'm probably still foolish to be dealing with him right now. But, it's kind of the heart wants what it wants kind of case. I don't know if he was being real. Just let me know what you think in the comments. What would you have done? I want to know what y'all would have done in that situation. Would you have answered Becky's call? Would you have gone outside to confront Becky? After she said she was there, would you have gone outside looking for Becky? Would you have confronted him at a later time about Becky? What would you have done in that situation? I really want to know. So, bye-bye. And I'll see you guys either in a cover video I do. I'm going to start doing more covers. I haven't used this YouTube account in a long fucking time. So I'm going to start doing covers. Requests. Give me some requests of some songs that you would like to hear me cover as well, because I sing. And follow me on my social media links, and let me know in the comments what you think. Bye bye.